Hello, folks. This is Bella Vora, your local realtor, with the market update for the real estate market in the Chester County and surrounding areas. Um, I wanted to if you love colors, graphs, and charts, you're going to love this one because I'm sharing all my charts with you. But even if you don't, hey, just my take on it will help make it a lot easier. And let me start with the seasonality in the business, right? Everybody's curious about what's going on in the market. Well, here's your answer. First, let's talk about the seasonality of the business, really. This has nothing to do with the current local market. This is just annual trends every year. This is Chester County, and these are the sales and listings. And it's always a bell curve. It's always peaks in the June, July, summer months and lows in the January, February months. Clearly, the weather plays an impact. The school cycles plays an impact. And this trend is like all the way from 2017 to 2022. It happens every year. The peaks may be a little off, and the troughs may be a little off, but this is the general trend. So a couple of things to think about. Competition is the highest here. So if you want to catch the peaks, if you're a seller and want to list a home, yes, you can list then, but there is high competition. The homes don't stop selling in these months either. There's enough people buying and selling homes. In fact, there are more motivated buyers out there buying right now. You might get fewer showings, but you will have motivated buyers. So homes are selling in the peaks and in the troughs, but this is the general pattern that sales follow. If you notice this dip in 2020, that was the COVID dip, as I call it. And this is Chester County. The pattern would be same for, Delaware County or Montgomery County, for example. The patterns differ slightly, but the general, remains the same, the trend. Of course, the talk of the town is the interest rates. Everybody's, abuzz with the sudden spike in interest rates that we have seen in the 30-year fixed mortgage rates. But if you caught any of my previous videos, if you follow me on social media, we're talking about creative ways in which lenders are financing with seller-paid points upfront, which help reduce your rate, or they're using adjustable rate mortgages, or coming up with 3-to-1 and 2-1 mortgage products that make things work for the buyers. So homes are still selling. The spike was a little scary. It impacted immediate sales for a while, but we see the trends continue like normal. So this is a map of the pricing. Everybody wants to know what's happening with the pricing in Chester County, and I wanted to show you the historic perspective this time. 2017 to 2022, median price in Chester County was under $350 back in 2017, and see what's happened to it. Like, this is the galloping market here. It hit a peak of almost 500,000. That's like an average price rising from 350 to 500, folks, is crazy. I mean, in my opinion, but this actually happened. These are the numbers for Chester County provided by the Bright MLS. This is all the home types, anything that's sold, the $1 million listings, the distress sales, the new construction, everything that was in the MLS, which is, all significant portion of the sales. So this is a trend tied in with seasonality and tied in with what's happening in the interest rate is what's defining our current market. The galloping increase in prices had to stop at some time. The market had to adjust itself. Like, how long could it keep continuing like this, right? And the interest rates rose, and then, so this is what the sales look like based on the three phenomenons: the interest rates rise, the seasonality of the business, and the market sort of beginning to adjust itself after all the galloping it had done over the last couple of years. This is, again, the same bell curve in Chester County, and it's a similar trend in the other counties as well, where you start Jan, Feb, March, and then it sort of peaks June and July. July, there is a dip here because that's when the interest rate spike was the highest. I remember it being the 4th of July weekend when we were already seeing, things happening. These are closed sales. For me, what really matters when I try to price homes for my sellers is the pending sales. Means that's when the homes went under contract. There is about a 4 to 6 week gap between when they went under contract and when they settled. So the decision was actually made here, And again, it is still a bell curve, but when I'm looking at, the numbers closely, it is the pending sales, the ones that, are just getting under contract, are what matter. And you see the typical, again, the spike up of the fall market, spring, summer, fall, and then it sort of slows down in Jan and Feb. The volume here is a lot lower. If I had this going back further to the previous year, you would see that these sales are significantly lower in volume relative to the last year. Everybody asks me about the distressed property sales. What happens to foreclosures and short sales, Bella? Everybody thinks, oh my God, the market is slowing down and now we're going to see a lot of foreclosures. We have been saying this. I'm going to say it again. We will not see too many foreclosures or short sales on the market. A short sale or a foreclosure is when the homeowner owes more on their loan than what the home will fetch in the current market. Folks, the prices are as high as ever. We already saw that. The homeowner has built so much equity in the home since they have bought their home. They're not going to leave behind the keys and walk away from their homes. They're going to sell their home and get an actual profit on it because they have, built equity in it. They have at least removed their PMI and they will get some money after their loans are paid off. If if you find a foreclosure or short sale in the market, that is a very over leveraged buyer. Like the home buyer chose to take out maybe home equity line of credits and kept borrowing more and more against their home and use that money for, projects around the house or take vacations or do other things with their, money. So that's not true for most people. We will not see that many foreclosures or short sales coming up because people have equity in their homes. This is what I thought was, a very interesting statistic. Your first-time buyer share of the market. Folks, at any point in time, there's a lot of different demographics of buyers and sellers in the market, right? Even the downsizing seniors, they're also buyers because they have to live somewhere. So they may be selling their, big, large homes, but they are also buying homes which are smaller, more manageable, the baby boomers. So there's different demographics of people buying. What the first-time buyer share is what dropped significantly thanks to this current market. Back in the day, in 1981, 44%, according to the National Association of Realtors, were first-time buyers. During the recession years, 2009, 2010, 2011, 50% of the buyers were first-time buyers. And that has just almost halved right now. Unfortunately, the high prices and the high mortgage rates have priced that first-time home buyer out of the market. It has helped the move up buyers or the move down buyers because they already owned homes and the equity in that rose and they could make money on their homes. But if you're a first time buyer, you were renting and unfortunately you couldn't take advantage of the high prices. So, that group is not doing that well in this current market of high interest rates and high prices, unfortunately. So I wanted to take this one first before I kind of show the predictions for the future. When it is 7 months plus worth of inventory on the market, when there's a lot of homes sitting for 4, 5, 6 months on the market or longer, suppose 10 homes sell in a month and there are 70 homes on the market, that is considered a 7-month inventory. So back in the 2008 and 2010 days, we saw a buyer's market. But anytime that this is under 6 to 7 months, it is still considered a seller's market. So folks, while the volume of business is low, the inventory is also down and it will increase slightly. I mean, it is continuing to, increase the inventory, but it is still a strong seller's market. A well-priced home, which is in a good condition and in a good location, is still selling in multiple bids in all these markets. And so roughly to cap it all, 2019 prices increased by 5%, 20 about 9%. This is again the National Association of Realtors. 21 was 17%. 22 forecast is about 10%. So folks, price continue to rise. Even though the July markets and the ones that followed had lower volume, the prices continue to rise. So here, this is the unit sales. Here we go. This is what's being impacted with the sudden spike in interest rates. The volume of transactions went down, but the prices didn't. And the predictions for 2023 is a further reduction in volume and plateauing of the prices. 2024 is when the volume will pick up again and the prices will actually pick up some more. I believe this is factoring in all the new builds when the new construction catches up and starts building inventory for the buyers to buy. So folks, hope this was interesting. Like, share, subscribe, share this with your friends who are in the real estate market. Subscribe to my channel for more. Find me on social media that you like. I'm on Insta, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook. Please, like the video, share your comments. What do you think what the market is doing? And let's engage. I'd love to have a chat.